One, Tom Hayden here with the Week 5 CPDL recap show. I said recap show, not recap show. All right, so CPDL Week 5 recap show with Jax and Matt. Matt's going to be running a little late. Jax, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, everybody?
So yeah, I'm excited for this one. What's it called? We're starting a little later than usual, so thank you everyone who's watching this on Twitch. Oh shit, forgot to mute myself. All right, so now I'm on Twitch. Let me send the link everywhere. And boom goes the dynamite. Stream at Twitch. Boom goes the dynamite. Boom goes the dynamite. All right, X out of Discord and Twitch on there because it makes it run slower. Now let's give people a minute to join. And I'm going to send in the general go live.
I'm excited. Final week of season 5.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Big playoff week. Big playoff setup week.
You're not kidding. Like, yeah, no, this is a big playoffs. Big playoff implications. I'm going to text Matt too. What's your ETA? Is estimated time of arrival, the ETA, a common? Do you guys do you know that? Or am I just an old person using that one?
No, ETA? Yeah.
Recap show. So
I'm older than you are, so yeah. I definitely know.
All right. Perfect. All right. So you know what? Let's just get right into it. We're going to skip Matt's battles. And then we're going to go back when he gets here and go over all the battles we skipped of his. And first, we got me. Oh, who's here? Oh, Angelo, that's so sweet. My favorite show is on. That's so sweet. This little thing we decided to do for fun just because I was like, I can't watch all the battles every week. I would love to watch a show. And then me and Tyros are like, let's make... And I've talked about the origin of this before. But that makes my heart warm, even though it's freezing in my stream room. All right, so let's get into it. Game 1, Bum Trash Garbage versus KD. I thought this was just a good lead from KD into Bum. The Dragapult protects, and then the Indeedee Obstagoon just put on pressure early, KOing the Azumarill, and then the P2 when it switched into. Silvally came in and was just able to clean it up from there, KOing the Dragapult and the Serena late game. And game 1, KD felt like was in complete control. Like, this was a very quick game 1, I thought. And it was just the right doubles into the right Pokemon, put damage on early with the Indeedee Male, and once Silvally came in, Silvally after a Swords Dance is fucking scary, man. Like, that thing puts on pressure. You don't know what type it is at first, like, and then I think we realized it was fairy type. You know, you can see the pink tail and whatnot. But game 2, it was a lot better positioning by both players until it wasn't. There was just one, like, the U-turn Serena and the parting shot by Smurf were great. He forgot Intimidate on Incineroar, which was huge, I thought, too. You know, just like cycling the Intimidates is so big when you're talking about Incineroar, and not being able to do that takes away a huge strategy. After a bunch of switches, though, it was Silvally time. Everything was like half health, and Silvally KO'd the Pult while it was low. It KO'd the Incineroar after Entei stomping Tantrum did making it low. It one-hit KO the Malamar. Serena high jump kicked into a Protect from Entei that same turn. And then Serena KO'd Entei with this high jump kick the next turn. Silvally got its revenge, got all 4 kills. Oh, I thought it was on purpose so not to activate Defiant. No, KD, I thought, said during the match, oh, he forgot. He just messaged me, he forgot Intimidate. So you know what? Maybe it was not to activate Defiant. But I don't know, man. Obstagoon is a scary Pokemon, too. Obstagoon's a very scary Pokemon. Yeah. I could be wrong. We got to ask KD. He's usually here. What's it called? All right, Matt's going to join us soon, too. But yeah, no, this one was really good. If it was Blaze or whatever the ability is, not to activate Defiant, good on him. I would roll with that excuse if you weren't and you just forgot it. Hit that excuse, you know? I thought it was on purpose not to activate Defiant. But this was a very, it was a fun game to watch, though. It really was. Shout out both these players. You can watch it at K DeMarney on Twitch. K DeMarney 10 on Twitch. And Jax, you got anything to say on this one before we get into the next one?
No, you covered it pretty well. I would just say like I applaud KD for like you said, his reads on what he was doubling into
Yeah,
was clutch at the beginning of each one of his games to kind of set up his Pokemon advantage, to kind of set up the Savali to be able to hit things and
clean
stuff like
everything
that.
up
His ability to predict targets worked out for him really well. He did a great job.
really well, really well. Oh, hey KJ, hey Tootie. Yeah, so we got more people joining the chat. Perfect. So this is our first match of the week, and yeah, it was a fun one. I recommend you go watching it if you can. It wasn't too long either. And let's get into the next one, which I believe was your match, Fox versus Pengy.
Yeah, this match was kind of like I felt for Fox because me and him we played really poorly this week. Um, Pinky came up with a really great game plan. Used his Dracovish really effectively.
Really
I feel
effectively.
like um, going up against um, going up against the Gigalith, using the Gigalith Sandstream to kind of set up its own speed was really smart from Pengy. Um,
Yeah.
and when he didn't want to use that in game two, he got up a Tailwind. Unfortunately, Fox in game two didn't remember that Tailwind was up,
Oh yeah.
so he thought that he was going to be able to attack and go ahead of him, and then all of a sudden Tailwind was still up, which actually allowed Pengy to double up on to Fox, which put him in the deepest hole ever, and he was basically waiting for the game to be over at that point, unfortunately. So, Pengy played, not taking anything away from Pengy, he played really well, and I think he took advantage of some mistakes both in game one and obviously in game two, um, from Fox not being as on point as he usually is, which is really weird to see from Fox. Because usually he's talking through stuff on his, talking through each one of his turns, each one of his moves, thinking about what his opponent could possibly do, and it unfortunately just wasn't working for him. um,
Yeah.
this week, and Pangy was really able to, like I said, use Fox's Pokemon to his advantage, kind of banking on what Fox was going to bring, and he did, and was able to clutch it up for him. So, really great job by Pengy. I feel for Fox. I played probably more poorly than he did this past week, so I feel for him. But this week we can come back. You know.
Yeah. Comeback season. And yeah, Pengy sent me a really funny text after his win. Like it was like probably 15 minutes after his win, he sent me the prediction tab where all of us picked against him. And I was like, hands up, I picked Fox. I was rolling with Fox. I was rolling with Fox. I'm not gonna lie. So now I might have to pick Pengy for the rest of the season. I don't care who his opponent is. I might pick him if he's going against me, just because. No, I wouldn't do that because I'm gonna win every week. I'm gonna win it all. You're hearing it here first. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, in our defense, it is kind of rough for us to bet against
we have to get,
guys like Fox and Haney because of how much they consistently win season in and season out. So
and we bet against 50% of you every week.
that's
50% of
right.
you, we pick against you. So I'm sorry. Please don't take it personally, but that was a very funny text. What's up, Pops? All right. And do you got anything else on this match before we move on to the next one?
Nope.
Done and done. So we got Angelo versus Yama, which was like one of my favorite games. I have to go back and rewatch all of it. I saw the beginning of game one. I was watching it on my phone. I got a phone call, so I missed until the end of game three. It was a very long match, so I was like, all right, I got a good time committed. Uh, Jax, did you happen to see this one?
I did. I watched this one,
But wait,
and I didn't take notes because this is Matt's game to cover.
and that's what I was just gonna
But
get into. I think we just saw Matt join the chat. I didn't hear the little boo boo. But Matt, are you
oh,
here?
did he?
I am here. I am currently driving, so for me to look at my notes right now,
No, don't do that.
Yeah, don't do
Unsafe. Shouldn't have even joined the
that.
call. Sorry. All right, I got very excited for no reason. So Matt, whenever you get
Boot
in,
him. Give him the boot.
whenever you get here, hang up. Hang up the call. Call us when you're ready, and we're gonna go
no,
back to this
I'm
match.
listening. I have you guys on the Bluetooth. I'm listening. Don't worry. But when I get home, I'll let you know when I'm home. and I'll recap. I appreciate you guys holding the fort down.
Absolutely. So yeah, we're gonna come back to this match when Matt's ready and get into our next match, which was actually Matt's match. All right. So shout out Jade versus Matt. This was a roller coaster game one. Roller coaster game one. I thought Matt was in control until I didn't when Melodic got the double KO with Muddy Water. I was like, oh shit, wait. It's +2 after the Intimidate. It got the KO onto Koff and Arcanine, who were both in like the yellow. And that's when I was like, this might be a match. And then once Tapu Fini came in, it was just able to clean up everything from there. The only thing Jade had at that point was Rock Slide misses from Buzz. I mean, Rock Slide flinches from Buzzwole versus Fini when it was 1-on-1, and Fini was like half health, I want to say. And Rock Slide actually missed completely. Fini Moonblast, boom, end game one. The next thing you know, game two, I really liked the Calm Mind from Klefki. Like, the Calm Minds from Klefki were a great idea from Jade, and we didn't really get to see it work out, I don't think. But he did win this game too. And Koff is just thick, man. Koff is able to get that trick room up, and then once it starts fake tearsing, it just negates that the Calm Mind special defense boost, because he had two Prankster Calm Minds. Fake Tears lowers your special defense by 2. So you only have the special attack boost from there. Then Koff goes down, and Heracross comes in. Draining Kiss was very clutch on Klefki. It healed up so much. Like, that 75 instead of the 50% from Giga Drain. You see it in the healing factor. And saving Alecki for the end game was huge for Jade, I thought. Switching into Clefairy, and then once the Trick Room ended, it was over, I thought. The Alecki and Buzzwole cleaned up the Fini and Credilli in the end game once the Trick Room was over, and Jade was able to take that game late. And in game 3, Matt, I want to say your plan worked to perfection. He wasn't able to KO either of your Pokemon, and the end of game 3, Credilli was full health after Giga Draining, and Koff was at 41%. It was like super impressive to see. Like, you had a plan going into game 3, and it worked exactly how you wanted it to. You were able to set the Trick Room, the Fake Tears, the Giga Drain, the Meteor Beams, everything was like just dying to that. And then the Haze Tech, so the stored power didn't hit as hard. And Jade is a very good opponent. Like, this was a very impressive game 3. Like, this was awesome to watch, man. As a fan of Pokemon and as a friend of yours through this recap show, and as a friend of Jade's, I was like, fuck, man, I hate to see Jade lose like this. I was like, Matt's very, like, this is an impressive fucking game 3. So, Matt, do you got anything on this before we move on to the next one?
Uh, no, just shout out to Jade. He's just a really good guy. I mean, he's in the process of moving, so just trying to make accommodations. As much as me and him both hate playing on Showdown, the game had to be played. And we kind of just sucked it up and played on there, and we had fun for the most part. But we both agreed at the end of that game 3 that we are not going to play on Showdown if we don't have to. That's what it came down to.
He's also in Australia. You're in Eastern Standard Time. It's a big difference. It's hard to schedule matches, so I'm glad this match was just able to get done in the moving process. Matt, that's the last time I'm going to kick it to you until you say you're back. I'm sorry to just sporadically do that to you. Jax, do you got anything on this match before we move on?
No, like you said, it was the game 1 was very close, back and forth.
Yeah.
I feel like you said that could have gone either way, and it kind of that to me. A lot of games go like game 1, game 2, and then the deciding leg is that third leg. But it really felt like this was much the opposite. You know what I mean? Game 2, Jade was able to adjust, played really, really well, and effectively just completely eliminated. Um,
Oh, no.
just completely eliminated Matt's plans. And then game 3, like you said, Matt had a game plan going in, and that game plan pretty much worked out flawlessly for him, which was pretty cool to see.
So impressive. I can't emphasize that enough.
So the game 1 was kind of the game that everything hinged on, and you didn't even know it was coming, which was really,
Yeah. No, that's actually a great point. Wow, I never thought of it like that. All right, I accidentally clicked the next slide already, so I guess we're ready to get into this one. We all talked about Matt versus Jade. Great match, showdown replays in the streaming Twitch. But Jolt versus Anti Jax, this is your game. Let us know what happened, because this is one I missed.
This game wasn't streamed. I have no idea what happened.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so yeah, shout out Jolt, shout out Anti, both great competitors. Let's look up the match stats real quick.
I know Anti won 2-1. As far as details though, I didn't get any hard details from either competitor.
So it's
Alolan Marowak went in. It looks like he
4 kills.
abused Trick Room.
Yep. It was Gardevoir, Gastrodon, and DD Female, Alola Marowak, Clink Clang, and Persian. So there's Gardevoir is the only Trick Room setter there. Versus Sylveon, Pincurchin, Alolan Raichu, Grimmsnarl, Lilligant, Torkoal. And Marowak has 4 kills for Anti, and DD Female has 2 kills for Anti. Gardevoir has 1 kill for Anti. And then we see Grimmsnarl with 2 kills for Jolt, Sylveon with 2 kills for Jolt, and Alolan Raichu with 1 kill for Jolt. Love both these teams, both great competitors. So yeah, what's it called? Anything else on this one before we move on?
I don't know.
All right, so next match, postponed. We're going to cover it when it happens. Next match, my favorite match of the week. Jax, I'm going to kick it to you. Tell us about me versus Turtle.
You versus Turtle was congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. I'll take it.
You played quite well, I must say.
I had fun doing it too.
Yeah, this was pretty interesting. I love the key for you. I believe was the special Blaziken that did a lot of work for you. Going into this maybe caught him a little bit off guard, but I think the unsung hero in this match was your spread moves, your ability to use the spread moves effectively.
Yeah.
That was very clutch for you to be able to dominate with the earthquake on
game 2. Game 3, turn 1, yeah. I think it was.
Yeah, the game 3, turn 1. Yeah, the Excavalier Togekiss lead. I'm pretty sure even when you initially chose your team and stuff, you were like, I'm leading this, and you knew if he led the Ninetales that it was going to be able to outspeed, do effective damage, and take you out.
Yep. Terrified Ninetales with that lead. That's why I wanted to lead Blaziken both times. And him not having Nidoqueen was huge for that lead in my thought process too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Because you weren't scared of any switch-ins at that point.
Yeah.
But yeah, all around, I think you played really, really well. I mean, I really don't. You didn't miss much.
No, I didn't miss any of my moves like I usually do.
I mean, you had to play flawlessly. You did play flawlessly. The key to the matches, like I said, were you having the Pokemon with the spread moves. Heat Wave, the Dazzling Gleams, the Earthquakes, everything like that. So you didn't have to worry about targeting specific Pokemon. It worked out
quite
much to your favor.
Yeah, this was a fun fucking match to play in. Turtle was like, I was nervous, man. I was like, oh shit. And then I was like, wait, we can still make trades this late in the season? I was like, I gotta make some trades. Gotta change up my team. Like, because my team as currently constructed going into that match wasn't gonna beat Turtle. And then it ended up beating Turtle. I used all Pokemon I had before the trades except for the Lone Executor. So never mind, I just lied. But yeah, no. So it was just.
And the Alolan Executor was pretty big early.
Dude, I didn't even use it once in practice. And I was like, but if he uses the Rillaboom and then gets a Gastrodon in, I'm going to have the terrain to Grassy Glide. Yeah, I got to try it. I just had it on the team just in case, and that's exactly what we saw game 1, turn like whatever it was in the back. And it just worked out quite well. I didn't even calc it out. I was just like, I hope this KOs. So that was one of my riskier plays. Because if he had a Rindo Berry, Blaziken would have went down there. And I got 4 kills with Blaziken, my favorite Pokemon other than Colossal. So yeah, I was quite happy with the way I played, and now I gotta kick Matt's ass. He's gonna hear that while he's driving. Sorry if your kids are in the car, but yeah, I'm coming for you. My playoffs started a while ago. I treated Arceus like a playoff game. I was 1-2. Then I was 2. Then I was 2-2. Treated this like a playoff game. Now I'm 3-2. I want to win and guarantee my spot in the playoffs. So yeah, this was huge for me, and I'm quite happy I was able to pull it off. Again, against a great competitor. He was like number 1 on the ladder a couple of times this month. So super impressive so far. And yeah, do you got anything else before we move on?
Nope.
Done and done. KJ versus Arceus. And this is my match. All right. So, yeah, so game 1, turn 1. I thought Arceus was just setting up too much. I was like, 2 swords dances is scary, man. You could probably get away with 1 swords dance. It was a Mimikyu and I forget what was next to Mimikyu at first. Versus the Rotom, and I forget what was next to Rotom. Oh, the Bullet Punch, Caesar. But then Bullet Punch breaks the sub. Thunderbolt KOs the Tornadus. Tornadus air slashes, does like 50% to Rotom. Oh, does less than 50% to Rotom, which shocked me. And then Mimikyu took the Bullet Punch way better than I thought. Rotom's at like 60 HP, and a +4 Drain Punch from Mimikyu didn't KO. I was shocked, man. I was like, Mimikyu's gonna sweep the whole team. There's no way for him to stop a +4 Mimikyu. And it was just like the damage output was very disappointing. I was just like, oof. And then Rotom got the KO with Leaf Storm. That's when we see Zoroark and Heatran come in. Kartana gets a critical hit Sacred Sword onto Heatran, but it was sashed, so it survived. And then we see the Heatran Heat Wave. It misses the Zoroark, hits a Kartana, bringing it down to the sash. And Feeney Icy Wind KO'd the Kartana. Zoroark KO'd Heatran, but this one was over. And yeah, Feeney got the last KO. And game 2, what's it called? Feeney comes out from the jump, and Katie was putting massive pressure on with the Muddy Waters. The accuracy drops were huge, because Tornadus was Swagger with the wide lens, so Swagger wouldn't miss, and the accuracy drop made him miss. So knowing that, that was crazy, man. Lando just cleaned up after the Muddy Waters too. Runerigus was at like 25%, and Kartana comes in at full health. It was Lando and Feeney with both 2 in the back, and it was over even though there were 3 to 4 more turns left. Arceus' games are long. Like, it's a lot of setup. It's a lot of this and switch. Like, you have to position yourself well. But yeah, Lando Feeney +2 in the back versus a Kartana and a 25% health Runerigus, over in my mind. That's when I stopped taking notes and I was like, all right. And there were like 4 more turns after this. Like, but Arceus wasn't able to pull back the comeback. It was a lot. This was a good game to watch though. I liked watching this one on KJ's YouTube. You could go to YouTube and he sent the video in there. And this was a fun one to watch, I gotta say. But yeah, the +4 draining punch from Mimikyu not KOing shocked me. I was like, oh my god. So yeah, Jax, you got anything on this one before we move on?
No, I didn't know that it was in the YouTube thing, so I didn't get to see it.
Yeah, so go check it out in the YouTube thing if you want to watch this one after. Matt, I see you unmuted yourself. Was that on purpose?
Yes, I am. I'm here. Sorry about the delay.
Don't be.
You guys can send me the pink slip after the show.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Billable hours, my friend. Billable hours.
I know.
Yeah, no, the John Deere lawnmower, the Rotom was so busted in that game. It was nuts how tanky it was with the damage output. But yeah,
Now I
Matt,
know how Smokey got fired on his day off.
built to last, KJ said in the chat. But yeah, yo, Matt, so now that you're here, wait, do you got anything on a KJ versus Arceus before we move on to our next match?
Well, all I really have to say is shout out to KJ for helping me prep against Jade.
Hey.
You know, I put in looking for a prep and he hit me up. He said, I'm around if you need me. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to take you up on that offer.
Hey.
And then he went to go play some pickup basketball.
Hey.
You know, I heard he fucked around and got a triple double.
Hey.
So he was feeling good. He was feeling good and he picked up the win. So shout out to KJ.
Hey. That's what you like to hear. Yeah, no, Rotom Mo was huge this week. But all right, so KJ's awesome. That's what you had to add. Perfect. So let's get into our next game, which is your first game of the week. Angelo versus Yama. Tell us about this one. KJ can
So
never guard
Angelo,
me.
yeah,
Angelo
Angelo
talking
versus
smacks.
Angelo versus Yama was a pretty good game. It went all 3 games.
Mm-hmm.
I thought this time around Yama was a little bit more prepared. He was on time. He knew who he was playing this week, and it definitely showed. So game 1, it looks like Yama leads the Mons he dropped shortly after, which is a quick side note. The same 2 Mons he led in this game, he wound up dropping like right after.
He was so disappointed.
There was nice awareness by yeah, he was so disappointed with that lead. He's like, you know what? I don't want these guys on my team anymore.
Get out of
You gotta
here.
do what you gotta do. Nice awareness by Angelo opting to go for knockoff with Thwacky on Cinderace, making him less of a threat without Life Orb now. And with Snorlax and Substitute, it's even more dangerous. Angelo must have had a crush on the substitute teacher at one point because Celesteela and Snorlax has substitute. I'm kind of seeing a trend here with substitute on some of these mons,
From
especially
very
with some
high
of these
level
players that may
players
be
in this
something.
league.
Yeah, it may be something to kind of take a look into. Wink, wink, hint, hint. But it was a nice end game for Angelo. I felt
Eyeball
like
emoji.
game one could have went either way, especially with Yama opting to take out Snorlax, not getting rid of Celesteela. Stuff. And what I have written here for game 1 is Celesteela is just way too strong. The guy just let it sit there. I mean, as much as you're trying to take everything else out, I don't know. I feel like when you see Celesteela, like
You got to
your
know you're
whole
playing
intention,
basketball.
your whole intention is to take it out, no matter what.
Yeah.
Game 2, I like the leads on both of these players. You see a Gorgeist and Mienshao for Yama, and then a Hitmontop and Vesprit for Angela. Definitely a unique lead for both teams. Angelo did a lot setting up his Vesprit with Calm Mind and coaching, just for Gorgeist to take it out. And I think that was like the reason why Angelo lost, because he was so focused on trying to get his Vesprit to set up and kind of sweep. And then Yama answers back in a major way with good plays on his side.
Yeah.
And Angelo forgetting that coaching doesn't boost up both of his mons, just one of them. Because he said it on stream. He's like, oh, I thought coaching boosted up my Hitmontop as well. And it doesn't. So, Hitmontop's just standing there trying to help his teammates out, and it's not really doing much anyway.
Nope.
And then, Coco and Gorgeist, Tapu Koko and Gorgeist just, pretty much sweeps the rest of it. So, now we're going into a game 3. And I put here, fasten your seatbelts, because I didn't know what to expect. Yama could have pulled off the upset. Angelo could have ran away with it. This could have been a tight game. I did not know what to expect after the first 2 games. Before the game started, and I had to write this down, live or die by the Vesprit. That's what Angelo said. He was going to live or die with Vesprit. He said, you know what, game 2, maybe I did too much with Vesprit, but I don't care what happened game 2. I'm going to try to do the same thing, and this time, let's see how it goes. I thought it was a huge protect by Angelo, recognizing that Yama would probably want to get rid of Vesprit right away. And then he doubles into the Vesprit. And, that could be definitely detrimental when you're aiming at one mon and it goes for a protect. So you kind of just waste a turn there. Which was also interesting was that the first 2 turns by Angelo, he shows all 4 of his mons. I mean, he definitely was careful switching his mons out, but the fact that he literally, like, you've seen every single mon that he brought in just the first 2 turns, for Yama, like, if I'm in Yama's position, I'm like, okay, so now I know what he has, and I can kind of game plan accordingly. You see a coaching and a substitute. By Celesteela. So now the substitute's up for Celesteela. Now it's getting hit with some coaching. The defense is going up. It's in substitute. It's going to be hard to break that. Angelo has shown a different tech each week for Celesteela, and they all have been dangerous. He may show like the same type of thing, but I always felt like when he uses Celesteela, there's like little niches that he does each and every week where it's like, okay, so It seems like he's doing it this week, but doesn't mean he's going to bring it the following week. So can't really get a good feel on how he's going to run it. I thought Game 3 was longer than Game 1 and Game 2 combined. I think the biggest part of this game was the Will-O-Wisp on Gorgeist. I felt like that was the turning point in the game. I think Yama also predicted a Trick Room by Mimikyu and went for Trick Room by Gorgeist, but I think Jax, after I'm done reading this, I think Jax mentioned something about why he went for a Trick Room. I put here, I thought it was a great read if the Mimikyu went for the Trick Room and he reversed it. But that's such a risky play. Like, if you're trying to match someone on a Trick Room, it's like predicting an ally switch. Like, if you can predict someone going for an ally switch, you got the biggest balls in America. But if you mess up on that, then you feel like, damn, I just lost the game. That's kind of how it felt at that point. Desperate after some calm minds is very hard to bring down. It takes out 2 of Yama's 4 Mons, and then Angelo kind of plays for timer and takes Game 3. And that's how that ended. And Angelo is still undefeated.
Incredible. The timer thing at the end was so weird.
It was weird. Yeah, to me, the turning point of the game was the Trick Room Will-O-Wisp turn. Because Yama went into Trick Room to try to benefit his Gorgeist, not thinking about the fact that it would also benefit every one of Angelo's Mons, except for the Hitmontop.
Is anyone well versed in the timer stuff?
I thought it came down to how many. At that point, Angelo had 4 Mons to Yama's 2. I would have thought there's nothing to be concerned about.
Angelo ran out of my time, but the game time was at 0. Yeah, so in chess, usually when you run out of your time, the game ends immediately. You're done. It's like buzzer hits, like the floor is lava, you're done. You touch the floor and the floor is lava. Usually it's very cut and dry. But I guess in Pokemon, it's a soft timer. Not like a floor is lava timer.
Yeah, I would have been really, it would have been really funny if Yama won that game because Angelo ran out of time, despite Angelo having 4 of his Mons.
I thought that was a realistic possibility because.
Well, so did Angelo.
Well, yeah, I got back.
He was freaking out.
Of course, this is one of the games
that
I'm watching on my phone. Yeah, he was freaking out. I was watching it on my phone. I get a phone call. Then I'm trying to fucking turn it back on. I'm like, this game's still going on? And I get back at the end of Game 3.
Long. Yeah, Game 3 was so long.
Yeah.
And that was
both
like
players
one of the
playing really, really well to be able to stall out that game.
To
be able for one of them to find an advantage, and both of them were playing well enough so that the other one couldn't get an advantage.
Yeah.
So then each turn kept doing it again and doing it again and doing it again. So the switch outs were great and everything, but him setting Trick Room for Angelo and Angelo just going, "Oh, well, thank you," was the huge part about it to me.
And time out. Tootie knows everything. Tootie just said if Angelo had locked into his moves for another turn, he would have lost. Because then his time would have been up, and he would have selected his moves. So that's crazy.
What a way to lose a game, right?
What if Tootie locked in Angelo's moves for him?
I almost did lock into my moves at the end in panic, said Angelo. That would have been nuts if that's how this one ended. Oh my God.
That's like the ending to like the Seahawks-Packers game from like 2012.
And Tootie would have been the only one that knew in real time, probably.
Yeah, I would have said, wait, did the game just glitch?
No, I would have said what Angelo was saying on his stream. Oh, my time went to 0. It's like chess.
Oh, because you played chess before, Tom?
I'll fuck you up in chess.
Yeah, okay. Just like you're going to do that this week, right?
I'm the savant pro in chess.
What can I say? I used to play all the old people. So, story time, time out. In the 4th grade, we would take field trips to the old folks' home. And I would play them in chess, and I was undefeated. They were like, no one could beat me. It got morbid. We stopped going because there was a dude who every time he got paired with someone, like I had the same partner, Bob. Every time me and Bob would play chess, and he would invite all the He would play chess throughout the week and be like, "I got someone to challenge you, Tom." I'm like, "Let's fucking go." And then Joey, he had someone. Every old person he got paired with died that week, and it got dark.
Oh,
Cause
that's morbid.
yeah, so
Yeah, that story went a full 360 there.
well, that's why we stopped going to the old folks' home. And then I got Bob a chess set, and he died before I could drop it off. So I got this awesome chess set for my house. I would kick people's ass with it all the time. But yeah, I'll fuck anyone up in basketball too. I was a coach 9-1 season, CYO C League, and then we lost. We were 5-4 season 2 in the A League. We lost on 3 buzzer beaters. I was starting to get gray hair. It was awesome. We were 5. Oh my god, 3 out of the 5 losses were buzzer beaters, and we won on a buzzer beater. So that season was nuts. The season was absolutely nutty. All right, are we ready to get back to the show? Sorry about story time. Sorry, yes. I like story time though. But yeah, no, the old folks home was a blast when I was a kid. I went undefeated in the 6 weeks. And yeah, I felt bad for Joey. Every partner he had died that week. So none of the old folks probably wanted to be paired with him either. I can't imagine, at least. But all right, let's get into the next match.
Did you imagine everybody like scattering all the old people?
All the
It's
old
like it's
people,
Damien.
they recognized his big little, because he had a big head. They recognized a little kid with a big head.
They're like, he's here to kill us.
No, not him. No.
Yeah, because they would match people up with Miss Hirschline's 4th grade class. It was awesome. All right, so the next match we got is Jax versus Behaney. And Matt, you're covering this one this week, so if you don't mind, take it away.
No, I don't mind. I don't mind at all. So for the Jax and Behenny match, I thought game one, we seen a very aggressive lead by Behenny with the Zapdos and Whimsicott. And then I felt it was more of a passive lead with Jax with the Galvantula and Didi. And I actually talked to Jax after this past weekend about some items. And he said, yeah, like if I would have brought this item, the game probably would have turned out a little bit different on his end. The speed control was the plan for Jax, the way it kind of felt like in game one. You seen the Electro Web by Galvantula. But Umbreon, I mean, I hate it in Series 11. I hate it in any other series because it's just so hard to break down. You got to have a plan for Umbreon. There was some big reads by Behenny, and he was able to take game one. There was one thing that I actually wanted to ask, and since we're here, Jax, you mentioned something about that you wanted to bring Klefki. And game one, right before you were done making your selections and you were on the screen, you felt like you already threw the match because you didn't bring Klefki. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Thoughts?
Yeah, the Klefki and Didi lead was a lead that would go into a certain half of his team, and that also would have been good for the Zapdos. Being the Zapdos is a flyer, I could have paralyzed it and nullified the Tailwind.
Hey.
It was basically that Pokemon was a big play also for speed control, and that's what I was trying to do. And when I didn't bring it, it was half a throw.
So then I appreciate that. I wanted to ask you before we got into game two. Game two, I didn't write much. The one thing that I did have written here was probably the toughest play to watch, and we've all been there before. I know I've been there in week one. Crankster on any Darkmon. That's something that kind of slips our minds, and you can definitely see it, affect Jax because he goes for a Crankster move on Umbreon. Props to be Henny, but I think Jax kind of beat himself up a little bit right after he did that.
No. I tried to status move the Volcrona, but he had gotten up the Misty Terrain.
Are you sure? I thought I'd seen Umbreon because she's mentioned it on stream.
Yeah, no, he Misty Terrained, and then I tried to paralyze his Pokemon.
He set the mist.
Because he changed terrain, but he changed it to a terrain that I couldn't status anything, and I was quite upset about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But then, so then Clef. So you didn't go for the prankster on Clef on Umbreon at all.
Oh, I probably did, but
I
that
didn't.
wasn't what I was
Okay.
mad about. Because after I completely messed up the status move on the Volcarona, I didn't give a shit anymore.
Oh,
Okay, because I know
Not
I
gonna
was
lie.
you
I know I
mentally
wasn't
checked
drunk
out.
because I remember seeing.
Even I don't know
Yeah, because I was
what the
gonna
hell
say
happened after I did that.
okay, because it was interesting because you said you're like, man, like this is rough, like and you like kind of beating yourself. I'm like, all right. I mean, there's still much left in the game, but like you said, like you kind of clocked out after the misty terrain being set up. Um, Definitely caught me off guard there. But I do have some closing remarks. I think Jax needs to just shake this one off and realize he is 4-1 with a clear shot at the playoffs. Behenny, same situation. The week before he lost to Alpaca, and you knew he needed to get back into the win column, and that's just kind of how it shaped out. But
Alpaca's so good.
we got to get Jax back in the win column this week. He is 4-1. So
Locked in.
as far as the playoffs go, like he is definitely safe, but that's
Locked.
not enough for Jax. He needs this win.
I don't know why I just karate chopped.
I
But yeah,
wouldn't have
locked.
minded losing, but I like last minute changed items before the match because I didn't use it really in
Practice.
prep, and I would have had a thorough advantage if I didn't do that.
So that's what
And then
sucks. That's what's a
I
shitty
think I was
feeling.
thrown off the entire match because of that. And then I just made misplay after misplay because I just my head wasn't in it at that point.
Mm.
And I
Yeah,
don't mind losing, but when I lose because of some dumb stuff that I do, that sucks. I mean, when you're playing somebody like Behaney, you got to play really, really good. And I had set myself up for failure from the beginning, switching stuff.
yeah,
So
and you definitely prepped hard. Like I didn't prep with you, but I know you and Andrew went at it, so it was like you know everything that you wanted to do as far as preparation goes, and you said it on stream because even Andrew was like, I feel bad, and sometimes you gotta let your prep partners know. It has nothing to do with you. Like we did everything we needed to do, and going into this game, it really comes down to me making those plays. So definitely respect to you and Andrew, but yeah, you were definitely prepared. Like you said, maybe I don't know, maybe you overthought one or two things, and then at that point you kind of just needed to go and make the plays that game. Obviously, game one was a little bit different, and then game two, the misty terrain, then the Umbreon. Uh, you're like, you know what? Let's just get out of this game and get to week 6.
yeah.
Damn. All right. Anything else?
That's it on my.
If you prep really hard and you've got a really good tech, don't change it right before your match. It's not good, guys. It's not smart. It's not viable.
No last minute tinkering.
PSA. That's a public service announcement for y'all.
All right, let's get into the next match, which is Tootie versus Jam. Tootie won 2-0. Tootie came out and just started punching him in the face. He had Discharge and Wild Charge, but then the Indeedee Male punched right fucking back. So, Wild Charge and Discharge KO'd the Mandibus. Indeedee KO'd the Electivire after the Wild Charge recoil, and also brought the Jolteon down to its sash. So Tootie came out, pop, pop, and Jam came back, pop, pop. And it was just like off to the races immediately.
Yeah,
So,
go figure. Indeedee Male's really good.
so then, uh, what's it called? A Ranguru comes in next, and at some point Swampert switched in. And from Jam's point of view, Jam kept switching, and Tootie just kept putting on pressure with attacking moves. And then at the end, it was a Swampert yawn and protect. Indeedee KO'd a Ranguru, fell asleep. Swampert finished it up, cleaned it up, and this one was over. Tootie and Jam both played well, but I felt like Tootie just kept putting pressure on, where some of the switches from Jam were just like letting Tootie put more pressure on. So it was interesting to watch. And in game two, I love seeing Galar Rapidash. Fucking love Galar Rapidash. I think, yeah, I wrote in my notes. I think Jam switched a little too much, and Tootie kept putting pressure on. All right, so wow. I wrote that in my next notes too. I'm good. Jam had some strong plays with the Sylveon. Like the Sylveon was putting on an impressive amount of damage towards the end too. It was like that hyper voice was too little too late, I thought. It was just like able to get the KOs, but once it went like Swampert was able to survive and KO it, it was an impressive amount of damage Sylveon was laying out the whole game. Jam again, Matt, you mentioned spread moves in my game. Jam has the spread moves. The Indeedee Male Expanded Force and the what's it called? Sylveon Hyper Voices were just very clutch for him this game. But Tootie was able to outlast, outwit, outplay, and survive this game and was able to win it. So you guys, Matt, you got anything on this one before we move on?
No, I don't have that.
Jax, you got anything on this one before we move on?
No, all hail 2D Swampert.
All hail Tootie Swampert. All right. And then, Jax, I'm going to kick it to you right now for Andrew versus Wheeze.
All right, so this was a pretty awesome match to watch.
Yeah.
I think both guys did really, really well in prep during the week. I mean, that's not because I helped Andrew prep, but both did really. I don't want it to come off like that, but both guys did really, really well with prep during the week. I think Wheeze brought with the offensive Crobat, bringing that, which is a huge change up to the typical like support sets that it does. Was pretty awesome. Scarf Landorus, which he hadn't used very much before in the season, was with the physical Scarf Landorus was pretty awesome and stuff like that. So he definitely brought cool text. Didn't bring Toxapex this week, which he had brought most of the season, which was a solid changeup for his team, I think. And Andrew had pretty solid ideas with the definitely wanting to use Sizor, because Sizor went really well into his team and nullified the poison attack from a Crobat just in case. I feel like they both had good game plans and stuff. Game one, Andrew kind of threw a little bit because it was sort of obvious at the beginning you could be worried about Tailwind on Crobat, but when Tailwind goes 3 or 4 turns without using Tailwind and it's attacking, you know it's got to become a threat, a priority at some point. And Poison goes really, really hard into Andrew's team. So making that a priority to take that out would have been a big deal. But Andrew kind of had some switch-ins that were more targeting the Pokemon next to the Crobat, not targeting the Crobat. Which allowed him to get a big advantage and do a lot of damage. That Crobat was doing a lot of damage game one.
Nice.
Taking that game one out. Game two, Andrew adjusted, I think, really, really well. Played his switch-ins a lot better, predicting where attacks were going to go, and kind of just more outmaneuvered and outplayed Wheeze game two. And then game three, unfortunately for Wheeze, Andrew he was predicting well hitting attacks, but the attacks that he was hitting were all critting. Well, they weren't all critting, but it sure did seem like it. I think there was maybe I think like 3 or 4 crits like in 5 rounds or something
In
like
some
that.
like crucial moments of the game.
Yeah, and those when a crit matters, there was a crit that didn't matter in game 2 or game 1. For Andrew, game 1, there was a huge crit on the Tapu Bulu from the Crobat, even though it's got increased crit chances. If it didn't crit because of he had the poison
It
berry
happens,
on
man.
it, weaken the poison attack, it wouldn't have killed it. He would have been able to kill back. It crit. He took out the Bulu. He was able to pretty much sweep game 1 on that because he left the Crobat alone. Game 2, there was a crit that didn't matter from Andrew. Then there was a crit that did matter from Andrew. He was able to take game 2. And then game 3, it was like Wheeze used all of his crit magic in game 1. And Andrew still had a lot left in the tank. Because I think the Sizor had crit twice in that third game. I think Bulu had crit once. So unfortunate for Wheeze that he got crit so many times. I mean,
Yeah.
Andrew was predicting hits correctly, but the hits were doing obviously a hell of a lot more damage with the crits than he could could come back from.
Yeah.
It's okay to get hit by something, especially in the non-Dynamax format, but when you're getting hit with crits
Over
on switch-ins, when
and
you're getting
over
hit with
and
crits
over.
and you think he's going to target the other Pokemon or something like that, well, instead of only having a quarter of your health gone, you've got 75% of your health gone. And that'll pin you into, well, I can't switch that in now. So if you switch it out, well, now you're always thinking, if I switch that in, then it's going to get knocked out. So what am I supposed to do? And it really hampers your gameplay. And I feel like that kind of happened to Wheeze in Game 3. And Andrew ended up clearing, I think, a 3-1 or a 3-1 Pokemon advantage at the end and just being able to pick up a solid win.
Wow, that's always impressive. Congrats, Andrew. Sorry, we like fuck, man. Two great competitors again. Like, yeah, someone's got to win. This sounds like a great one. And Matt, you got anything else on this one before we move on?
No, I think here's some pro metric stat that I want to bring up here. I think everyone that Jax helped prep either this week or this season, something crazy like that, has won. So does Jax have the magic? Is he the is he able to teach all these young Padawans how to be a Jedi Master? And that's kind of what it seems like as of right now.
Let's hope not. But all right, let's get into the next one. We got Asnam versus Alpaca. Alpaca wins 2-1, and Matt, take it away.
So I don't know if the game is uploaded yet, but I know at when I did hit up Snom and Alpaca, the game was not uploaded just yet. So, but this game had so many implications as far as playoffs go.
Yep.
I think Jax, you mentioned it. Like whoever lost this game is pretty much eliminated from the playoffs. And Alpaca, after beating Behenny last week, seems like he's getting his momentum because he was able to take down Snom in a
He's a
2
scary
1
player.
series.
He's a scary
Yeah,
player.
huge. So I actually reached out to both of them. I pretty much got the same answer. So it seemed like I
Was
think
the answer Anti's ass?
no, that did not
Oh,
come up.
okay.
Why would you say
But
that's mean?
that's usually a comment by Anti whenever I do hit him up if I'm recapping his game.
Sometimes I hit people up and they just are like, I'm ass. And when I'm like, I think I'm talking to Anti. So I
Yeah,
was
you
just
got.
wondering.
Did you get? Did someone did Anti hack your system there? So
Yeah,
for what I got was game one. I think Alpaca timed out, and then in game three, there was two rock slide flinches in a row, and
Huge.
Snom um, missed some in game three, and the hacks was pretty much in Alpaca's favor. The rest of the set was good. There was some surprising text on Snom, and they both and Alpaca sent me the pokey paste on both of these teams. Um, there was I think Alpaca brought no, this was Snom. Snom brought a weakness policy Arcanine. He brought a Scarf Milotic, and his Snorlax, from what I understand, put in some work against Alpaca. I guess there was some rock slides that were an issue late game, but I think someone needs to go. I think when this game is uploaded, we just need to go and watch it because of how big this game and what the implications were on the playoffs.
100%. Jax, you got anything on this one before we move on?
No, like Matt said, this was um pretty big for the playoff implications. It pretty much all but sealed Alpaca in. I believe if he can possibly lose and have a 2-1 and still be in. I
Damn.
haven't
Double check
checked
the math.
everything, but yeah, he could lose, but as long as he takes a game, he's still got a viable shot at playoffs. So this was very big for him, and this puts Snom firmly on the outside where he was the last spot in last week.
Okay.
He'll be firmly on the outside, and he'll have a big match coming up this week that we'll talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
So this was like Matt said, big implications for playoffs, and it's getting even tighter now that we're in the final week.
And yeah, this was our last match. So we got Pokemon of the Week next. And I want to give you guys a little behind the scenes of how Pokemon of the Week works. I nominate one of my Pokemon, and they say yes or no. And usually when they say no, we look for like who actually deserves it. This week it was Blaziken. I actually earned it. Let's fucking go. I got 4 KOs with Blaziken. It was a huge match, me versus Turtle. The heat waves didn't no one saw it coming. I didn't get to fake tears as much. It was like a nice break. I love Blaziken. I'm so happy I was able to get the 4 KOs with it and was able to use it in my match versus Turtle. And Blaziken wins Pokemon of the Week. And you guys got anything on this one? Jax, I'm gonna go to you first.
Well, I appreciate your candor with everybody to let them know that you just nominate whatever Pokemon either beat you or you beat everybody with every week.
Every week.
But yeah, the punching fire chicken did really well this week, and I think it was kind of the most pivotal job that a Pokemon did this week. So I had no bother with throwing it up as Pokemon of the week. The special attacking side of it, I think the catching him off guard with a special attacking Blaziken with the speed boost did a lot of work for you this week. So
Yeah, Angela just said the chicken was kicking. And Matt, you got anything on it?
So three things. The reason why Blaziken was Pokemon of the Week is when I look to vote for Pokemon of the Week, I look at the games that are really meaningful. So check that off the list because Tom, you needed this win. If you did not get this win, you would have been in a really bad spot as far as playoffs
Out
go.
of the playoffs in my mind.
So you were yeah, so you pick up the win. The next thing I look at is, kills. It had 4 kills and made noise. And the last one was how did you use it? And the way you used it by, not doing the same physical spread, not putting like the heat, not putting the heat crash or no, the flare blitz and the close combat with like a protect on it. We've seen that time and time again. I'm pretty sure that's what Turtle's seen as far as, this is a standard Blaziken set. You said, you know what, I need to surprise him because if I don't surprise him, he's just going to key on things, and that's why Blaziken became Pokemon of the Week because you were able to hit him with a surprise. It was a meaningful game, and it actually got some kills for you.
Yeah. And what's it called? Let's get to our honorable mentions who are in the chat who are right that Silvally and Celesteela both probably should be Pokemon of the Week if I wasn't biased and selfish. But yeah, no, both of these Pokemon were huge. Silvally got all 4 kills in game 2 of his match. I just thought the way the match went down and like there were less playoff implications. Celesteela is getting the usual suspect syndrome where I can't give it Pokemon of the Week every week. You
It's
know,
like the LeBron James conversation. He can't win MVP every single season,
he can't win.
so
Yeah,
you got to
no,
find someone else.
for me, and let me just break down the reason why these didn't make Pokemon of the Week for me.
let's go. You actually have a real analysis. I like
Celesteela
this.
Game 3. I don't even remember it. I don't even remember if it was even in the Game 3 against Challenge because it did the least amount of work.
Okay.
All three other Pokemon
All right.
that Angelo
So
had
Silvally probably should have been in there.
that did work in that Pokemon or in that match that were memorable were Mimikyu,
Biased.
the Hitmontop, and the Mesprit. That's point blank period. So I'm not. You can't. I mean, I can't give it to a Celesteela that I don't even remember being in. Like the biggest game. It got
Yeah,
a kill. That's cool. I don't even remember. I have no idea. I don't even who to kill. Who to kill? The sidekick or something? I don't know. And no offense, so Valley was great, right? But that match was over so fast. I don't even know what happened. My head spun. It was not as hyped up as Tom had his match with Turtle and the playoff implications there with him.
Hey. So I win Pokemon of the Week.
But yeah, I mean, Angelo did say on stream like he was going to live or die with Vesper. So he didn't say I was going to live or die with Celesteela. He said Vesper. So as soon
Exactly.
as he said that,
Angelo, if I was going to nominate a game from your Pokemon from your match, it would have been Mesprit, not Celestial.
And Katie's like, I don't like to play long games. Well, you don't, man. You usually kick someone's ass real quick. So you should keep doing that then. But let's get to the kill leaders. Oh my god, it's Pokemon we've been talking about. Katie Celesteela, I know Katie Silvally with 6 kills. My Tootie, I feel bad. All right, my Pokemon never get mentioned because they're team players. Nominate your Pokemon. Please, don't leave it up to me because I'm biased as fuck. And I'll do this the morning of usually. So you have all week to nominate your Pokemon after your match. After your match, not
Tootie, mine are the same way. I got
nominate
like
your
5
Pokemon.
Pokemon that have 4 or 5 kills.
Angelo usually nominates his Pokemon too. And I appreciate that, you know? So nominate your Pokemon. But what's it called? So Silvally gets 6 kills with Katie Silvally. Angelo Celesteela, Agnello Celesteela. Sorry about that, Angelo. Wait, let me fix that. Angelo Celesteela makes a list with 5 KOs yet again. And My Blaziken, KJ's Rotom Alpaca Snorlax, Anti-Alola Marowak, Andrew Caesar. Oh, wow, I missed a lot of chats. Weez's Crobat, all in third with 4 KOs. Congrats to everyone. All right, I missed a lot of the chat. I got a kill with all 6 Pokemon this week. So nominate your team. That is really cool. And you know what? They all would have made honorable mentions, and it would have been annoying to do the little screenshots, but I would have done it for you. I just want to say my Marrow would have had 7 or 8 kills, but Joe conceded every game. That's so annoying, too. So you got to tell us that, because that would have been an honorable mention then. Cooler than 6 KOs, so Valley. Can we nominate Tootie's whole team? Yeah. Yeah, I'm catching up. What's up, cousin Devontae? Let me know you love your Pokemon. Yeah, so Valley's too clean. Don't hate. Haha. So Valley was very cool. That's the point. Yeah, no. So nominate your Pokemon. Don't leave it up to me because I'm biased as fuck. All right, let's get into the
he is.
predictions.
He's not lying. He is very biased.
I've been very upfront about that the whole time.
Exactly. You got to respect it.
Yeah. So what's it called? These are the predictions this week. Thank you for participating, Tootie, Jackson, Matt. So it looks like I'm going to keep my Battle Styles ETB. It looks like no one's going to win it because we only got 1 week left before the playoffs, and this contest stops at the end of the regular season. So all right, I got 7 out of 11. Matt, Jax, you got 7 out of 10. Matt got 6 out of 10. Tootie got 8 out of 11. So Tootie and Jax both got 3 games wrong. That's the most. You know, so that's the highest. And then Matt, me and you both got 4 games wrong. So shout out us. Katie, can you predict me this week? So yeah. If Angelo and Katie win the box together, I'm gonna saw it in half. All right. So let's get into the standings. Armored Conference. Congrats, KJ. I believe that's a clinch for the playoffs. Behaney and Jax, I believe you guys both clinched the playoffs too. And then Tootie, me, Turtle, Alpaca, and Andrew are all still in the playoff race. Jax, am I right? Jax, you there? Oh no, did I lose everyone?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
I had my mic off.
perfect.
I was yelling at my daughter. So,
Sorry.
but yeah, the top 3 teams um are all locked in for sure. And Tootie is the possible only team. He can lose but have a 1 differential and still be guaranteed in. So if he just picks up 1 more game, then he is for sure locked into the playoffs as well.
Ooh, that's
Um,
exciting. Good for Tootie. Congrats, Tootie.
yeah, and then
The rest of us are
from
fighting for our lives.
yourself, Tom, down, there is a very long shot scenario where you could be at the last spot outside of it.
Yeah. Yeah. If a bunch of stuff goes wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
So if one of us loses, we need everyone else to lose too. If one of us wins, we guarantee our spot essentially.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. All right, and let's get into the next division. So on this side, it looks like Angelo is the only team that clinched, right? And Pengy, KD, Fox are all still fighting. Seb.
Well, this is they did update it, so Seb is second now
Oh, well, let
with
me
a
delete
3 to
this.
1.
All right. So I'm going to screenshot it now.
Yeah, he's second now with a 3 to 1 record, win loss record, and a differential of +2 because he still has a game to make up with Weeble.
So I'm going to the standings now. Yeah, I did this earlier today.
Pengy is
Here, wait.
locked in because if he loses 2-0, he'll still have a +2 differential, so he is locked in as well.
Oh,
So the
nice.
worst he can do is 3-3 with positive differential of 4 at that point, and that's going to end up being enough to get in because there are players in with a -1 at right now. So if they 2-0'd, they would only be a +1. So he's a lock in as well.
Oh my God.
And if Matt ends up picking a game up, a win guarantees him in. If he picks a game up on both of you, I'm pretty sure he'd be in.
Oh yeah, because then he'd be 5-1. Oh, you're saying if he loses and picks up a game?
Right. Yeah. If he loses, but he loses 2-1, 2-1, I think his differential stays above the point where he would be locked in as well.
Am I right about this? All the teams that are above 500, 3-2. And wait, what's Pops? Pops hasn't played yet. Okay.
Pops hasn't played yet.
So all the teams, and including Pops, that are 500 or better, if we all win our next game, does that guarantee us our spot?
Yeah. If you win your next match, yes. Yeah.
So,
Everybody that currently, right now, as it stands, everybody that has a 3-2 record and Pops with a 2-2 record are in the playoffs.
so Yama.
The 3 people that are outside of the playoffs that even have a chance of getting into the playoffs are Yama, Anti, and Snot.
If they win,
They'll all have to win, and they'll have to win with certain circumstances. Like Snom will have to win, but he'll have to win 2-0 and hope that somebody ahead of him ends up dropping,
2-0.
and has to hope that Yama or Anti don't win 2-0 because if they both win 2-0, they'll be ahead of Snom, but in differential at that point. So there's a lot of
Moving pieces.
maneuvering depending on how the matches go that could happen at the bottom.
And Weeble.
But like you said, the top 4 in the Armored Conference and pretty much the top 3, or at least Angela and Pengy, are all guaranteed in. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 6 people there out of the 14. So the rest of the 8 people, depending on how this week goes, can either be maneuvered where they are or out of the playoffs.
Who's the last one in right now?
Pops with a 2-2,
And if
but he hasn't played. That's the thing.
and if
And also
Weeble,
on that side too, like
yeah.
we were talking about before the match, or before the show with Seb and Pops, if they play Weeble and Weeble ends up beating both of them, then that will drop Pops out of the playoff picture. That will drop Matt down towards the bottom of the playoff picture, and Weeble will end up jumping, I think it was 8 spots.
Holy shit. So that's a wild card too. I'm not going to go to this slide anymore because I have the old standings. I'm just going to keep jumping between these two. But yeah, so right now all the 3-2 teams just guarantee their way in with a win. If you're 2-2 or 3-2, you could guarantee a playoff spot with a win next week. I'm not sure about Pops if he wins and loses. I'm not sure how the math works out. But
that will all depend on the differential in the last week and the game against the Wolves.
And who he loses to this week. If he wins, let's say he beats Weeble, and who he playing this week? I have it written
And
down.
then whoever he plays this week, if he
Snom.
say he loses 2-0, he could still be
No, Snom.
So it's not yeah.
Then Snom
So
would get in.
Snom needs to beat him 2-0, and he will overtake Pops' position
Yeah.
in the playoffs.
So
Another thing to point out is that Weeble Wobbs has missed 2 games.
No, yeah, that's what we
Um,
were just talking about too.
if he doesn't schedule his third game in a timely fashion, and then we have that bye week before the playoffs, I mean, at that point, like there is going to have to be some things handed down, and that could play a part into that as well.
What does a
Yeah,
forfeit
either
count
that
as?
or he has to play against 3 separate people in 1 week.
Which
Which
I don't think that we'll see how that works out.
he's good, but I don't know if he could beat. If he, yeah, that would be impressive if he's able to beat 3 people in 1 week. But what's it called? Yeah, I hope those matches get played instead of forfeits. I didn't ask about the forfeit rules. I know in high roller it's only 1-0 instead of 2-0. It's 2-0 here, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
It's 2-0 here, and whoever forfeits is automatically out of the playoffs anyway. So if Weeble wanted to get into the playoffs,
he would have to
he would
win.
not be able to forfeit any of the 3 matches. It's not like he can go, oh well, Seb's already in, so I just won't play Matt. I'll forfeit that, but I can knock the Pops out of the playoffs, and I can still get in. He can't do that. He has to play all of his matches to have a shot, or pretty much everybody's going to get in, which is unfortunate because I don't know who he beat, but he beat somebody, and ultimately 3 people could get 2-0 victories for no reason.
Yeah, you hate to see that. That's what I hate to see. So I hope these matches happen for everyone's sake, just for like fairness. But all right. So do we got anything else about potential playoff stuff? I think we covered it pretty thoroughly. I think this was a good little segment in the show. Anything else before we move on? Matt, I'll go to you first.
No, as far as the playoffs go, it really just comes down to availability. With when it comes down to the last couple of games, just being there to get those games in because you get that bye week before the playoffs start. Um, that could definitely play a part if you're playing a game during that bye week, like right before Christmas, and you can't really worry about who your playoff matchup is, or if someone is prepping and they don't know who they're playing because they're still waiting for games to be played.
Yeah, so we'll figure that all out when we. So yeah, we gotta. I don't know. I think Weeble said he was traveling, so we'll figure that all out. He'll probably have to play his matches on Showdown or something. But yeah, we let's just hope we get the matches in. But all right, let's get into the week 6 matches, which I wrote. I forgot to update. All right, week 6, and I updated the rest of them with that. All right, week 6 matches. Let's get into it. Let's fly through these because I kind of got to pee, and then the football starts at 8:15, right? So what's it called? Congrats to everyone who made their fantasy football championship, fantasy football playoffs and whatnot. So I entered 4 leagues, and I thought that was too many, and I'm in the playoffs in all 4 of them. And then I asked Jax, like, Jax, do you want me to publicize how many leagues you're in?
Yeah, you can. I'm gonna try about it.
15, man. That's so many fucking fantasy football leagues. That's a lot, man. And Matt, are you in any fantasy football leagues?
I am not, but I do help a lot of people as far as
Hey,
who should they start and whatnot. I think I told Pops was debating on Mac Jones and Matt Ryan. I told him to pick Matt Ryan. I think they've been up and down as far as I'm concerned. I don't know. I haven't looked at the stats that much, but
well, if it was for
um,
the league that Jack started, it's too late anyway because I made the playoffs. I made the last slot. I'm going to
eh,
take down Bananas' dad, and then I'm going to take down the winner of Bananas versus friend Ethan. And it's only me and the Nanners clan in the right. It's Ethan's Nanners friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's me and the Nanners clan that made the playoffs in the league we started here. So I'm very excited about that. But I got Arceus in this one versus Weeble Wobbs. And Jax, who you got in this one?
I'm actually gonna if this match is played, I'm picking Weeble.
All right. And Matt, who you got in this one?
um, yeah, I'm gonna go with Jax. Like if this game does get played, I'm going Weeble. I know RCS has been very busy, with school and everything. But he's been around to play his game. So if it does get scheduled, like at least it's going to be played.
I think he's going to try to get a win in the last week. I really do. I don't think he's going to, just roll over. So I'm rooting for that, and I'm going to pick Arceus. Next week, we got Snom versus Pops. I'm actually going with Snom in this one. I'm sorry, Pops. And Matt, who you got?
I mean, who did Pops play the week before?
I forget. Let's go check. Weeble
Okay,
postponed.
and he picked up the win. I mean,
No, he didn't pick up the win. It's
he
postponed.
lost to Weeble.
No, it's
Oh
postponed.
no, I'm talking about the week before.
I don't know. I don't remember.
Okay.
He played Trash Garbage.
Okay, so he played Bomb. So, you know, I felt very, very rusty when I was playing Jade, especially on Showdown. I don't know if Pops, he may be just kind of chilling, taking his time, knowing that, Weeble wasn't around as far as just, you know, getting his mental health up and all that. But,
I
not
thought he was
playing
traveling.
games can
Okay.
definitely. What's that?
I thought he was traveling.
I'm talking about Pops. Is
Oh.
Pops traveling too?
Oh no, I don't know.
Okay. So, like I was saying before, Pops could just be rusty. If he hasn't played in the last, 2 weeks, it would be at this point. So we'll kind of see how he does against Noms. I do have Pops, but I remember last season between Pops and Snom, they kind of just threw teams together, and they were like one of the first games to be played, and it really came down to a crit in game three.
Damn.
I think Snob was sitting in the winning chair, and then all of a sudden Pops came out of nowhere, got the crit, and was able to pick up the win. And I think that kind of propelled Pops into a nice little winning streak into the playoffs.
And Jax, who you got in this one?
Man, this is tough, dude.
Right? I got
Dude,
Snom, Matt got Pops. So it's split.
Pops is on an absolute roll, but Snom is usually plays Pops really, really closely.
Mm-hmm.
He does. It's a toss up. It's definitely a toss up, and especially because Pops hasn't played in the last week and a half. So it's definitely going to be interesting.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Pops because I see some things that are on his team that that he can prep for and be able to answer multiple mons on Snob's side. So I'm gonna go with Pops to keep it rolling.
All right. The next one, Jolt versus Turtle. I got Turtle. Jax, who you got?
Yeah, I'm with you. Jolt's plays really, really well. He makes great reads um, every game, but I just don't think that his team is really as strong as he had hoped for. And I think that Turtle's going to end up pulling it out and righting his ship after a couple of losses.
Yeah, he's on a 2-game losing streak after starting 3-0.
Yeah.
Yep. And Matt, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I mean, just kind of piggybacking off of what Jack said, watching Joe play, like he's made good plays. He's made good plays against me. He made good plays against Fox. He's made good plays in general. But as far as finishing it, I could actually argue maybe it's the team that's holding Joe back as far as him trying to pick up wins. I thought because I think he picked up Torkel like round one, and don't get me wrong, I do love myself some Torkel, but I thought there was some other Mons that would have been a better pick for Jolt the way he has used his team. But at the end of the day, you're going to trust what you know. You're going to go ahead and play. But Joel, looking at his schedule, I mean, it's going to be interesting because I know Tom, you like to kind of look at the strength of schedule after the season.
No,
I think
Behaney
Joel.
doesn't like us looking at it though. So let's not talk
What's
about.
that?
Behaney doesn't like us talking about it. I think someone got upset after season 3 from us talking
Oh,
about strength of schedule. But I think it is
okay.
interesting. But yeah, I don't want to hurt
Yeah.
anyone's feelings
Well, I think Joel has one of the hardest schedules
by
in the
far.
season, but yeah, but I mean, yeah, but you got to play your games at the end of the day. It doesn't matter,
You
who
got to
you're going
play
to
who you're
compete.
matched up with. Exactly.
Yeah,
All
and
right.
it's not a biased thing. Like it's a randomizer. So
No one
that
said.
that
Yeah. But all right.
yeah, that's how it works out.
Let's go into the next one, which is Weez versus Fox. I got Fox. Matt, who you got?
Who's the matchup again?
Weez versus Fox.
Weeze versus Fox. You know what? I'm not going. I'm going to pick Fox because after that loss to Pangy, Fox has to get the win and have to get some type of momentum going into the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jax, who you got?
Yeah, I am. I'm going with Fox as well. Um, don't ever count on Fox to play as poor as he did last week, 2 weeks in a row.
Yep. No, that's a
So
good reason.
I think he's gonna come back with a good game plan, do what he does best, which is always executing his game plan and getting it to where he needs it to be able to use it well. And if Weeze wants to pick this up, he's gonna have to play extremely well. I think he has played well the last couple of weeks, just been unfortunate. Um, but he's got a big mountain to climb to take out Fox this week.
Yeah. All right. Into the next one, which is Jax versus Pengy. Jax, I hate to say it, I'm actually going with Pengy in this one. I'm sorry, man. Matt, who you got in this one?
So I am actually going to be helping Jax out versus Pangy. So I am not going to say who's going to win.
Oh, you're not gonna pick. Okay, perfect. So next one we got Jade versus Jam. I'm going Jade in this one. Jax, who you got?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go with Jade on this.
And Matt, who you got?
I'm going with Jade for two reasons. The first reason is because when I played Jade, it was a very like what I prepped against. Jay didn't really bring it, and I was very surprised. But that's just how the best way for me to describe Jade is very authentic. Like there's a way that he wants to play his games, and he does it very well. And from what it looks like here, as far as Jam goes, he kind of just throws some things together, and it's like, you know what, this is what I trust, this is what I know, and he just goes ahead and plays. He did make a couple of trades at the end
Down,
of his last game. He
down.
made some trades. He believes what he did was going to help benefit him. Time can only tell until we see his match versus Jade, but I am going with Jade in this one.
Done and done. The next match we got Tootie Angelo. This is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be a really fun one. I think I'm going Angelo, but I almost picked Tootie. And Matt, who you got in this one?
All right. I'm always gonna go back to that game between Turtle and Tootie because that was such a good game to watch between two good competitors. And I honestly think I'm I'm going with Tootie. I'm going with Tootie with the upset. Tootie's really good. I wish he streamed because, from what I understand, he's a very good competitor, very good battler.
From what you
But I am
understand,
gonna
from
go.
what we've seen in his 2 seasons.
Yeah, no, he's
Yeah.
good. I mean, he won newcomer of the year, newcomer of last season. Like he was the newcomer, one of the first
You
guys
remember the
there, and
awards?
like
I don't remember the awards. That's awesome. Thank you.
yeah, he was newcomer of that season, and he definitely deserved it. He made some big plays. He won some big games
Who isn't
last
a
season.
crackhead, Katie? Don't judge.
But at the end of the day, I am going to go with 2D in this one. I think this could arguably be game of the week.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, and Jax, who you got in this one?
I am also gonna go with Tootie
Ooh. All right, so Angelo,
on
I'm
this.
riding with you, bud.
I know from experience playing Tootie is not fun whatsoever, and he plays I think almost at um a level of he knows what he's doing as just as much as Angelo does, and he's really calm about the way that he does things. He's very precise and accurate with what he's doing, and he knows what he has to do. And like you said, he knows everything about like
He knows
everything.
everything. Tootie
So
knows everything. All right, so yeah, that makes sense. On to the next one. Alpaca versus Anti. I got Alpaca. Jax, who you got in this one?
this is another one with huge playoff implications. Actually,
Huge.
um, Alpaca just got in. Anti is just on the outside looking
Looking in.
in, so he is going to be desperate for a win. I'm gonna go with Anti on this one to win a close 2-1 victory.
Nice. And Matt, who you got?
Uh, I was hoping Jax was going to go with Alpaca for the because I honestly think it's kind of crazy thinking that Anti is not. in the playoffs as of right now, but he has played well this season. I
Yeah.
think he had a couple of hiccups, a couple of games, but I felt like he has had a solid season. And if it comes down to him getting into the playoffs by beating Alpaca, I think he does it. I don't think it's
I
going to
think
be
Alpaca got
easy
him.
because Alpaca is a good competitor, but I do think Anti picks up the win and then secures the playoff. Secures a playoff spot.
Done and done. We got Behaney versus Smurf. I got Behaney. Who you got? Bum trash garbage. Sorry. I don't know what to call him. Smurf. Bum trash garbage makes me laugh every time. But yeah. So
Who are you
Matt.
asking?
Oh, Matt. I'm sorry. My bad. I try to alternate
Again,
every time.
I am helping with Behaney later on this week, so
All
I
right.
will
So I'm
not
gonna cross
pick
it
him
out.
in this game.
And Jax, who you got?
I'm gonna go with Behaney.
Done and
I
done.
think that there could be a team that goes 6-0, and I think that Bum unfortunately could be a team that goes 0-6 without having won a leg all season.
Yeah, I think so. You guys picked Arceus to do the same thing. Yeah.
No, RC's won legs.
Oh, you're
Bum Trash
saying?
Garbage has not won a game.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Damn.
Yeah, unfortunate, but he has not won a round all season.
I'm switching my pick. Bum trash garbage. I'm riding with you. Let's fucking get this win. All right.
Do it.
Andrew versus
I'm
KD.
not that bold, but I respect you for doing it.
Yeah, Andrew versus KD. I got KD. Jax, who you got? Are you helping prep Andrew?
I am. I'm gonna pick Andrew as well.
Oh no, I got KD. And then
No, I meant like I'm helping him and I'm gonna pick him.
nice. All right, Matt, who you got in this one?
Andrew has really come on this season.
Andrew's
I
so
mean,
good. Andrew's so good.
I'm really impressed because I know last season it was kind of up and down for him. I know he got into the playoffs, but he said he wanted to be better, and honestly, he's put in the work and he's gotten better.
Yeah.
At the same time, and that's one thing. Like I know KD is good, but I haven't really seen much this season so far from KD. I know he's been quietly good so far.
He's been
I
very good.
know
Yeah.
what is he? Does he have
He's
two
been very
losses
good.
as of right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he has two losses. He's sitting at 3-2.
He's very good.
I think KD is going to pick up the win, but I would not be surprised if Andrew pulls off an upset, and I would not be surprised if this goes to a 2-1 for KD. I don't think it's going to be a sweep on either part.
Done and done. So my match, I'm picking me versus you, Matt. I'm going with me, Jax. I know you're helping prep Matt, so I'm gonna guess you're picking him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Matt, you don't pick your match. So yeah, this is
Oh,
gonna be
I'm picking this week. I'm
oh,
picking myself.
nice.
I've been listening. I've been listening to you all season. You're trying to. It's the
Let's
battle. It's the battle in New York. It is the battle of Long Island, and Strong Island is coming through. I may be in Pittsburgh, but Long Island runs through my veins, man.
Nassau
We're
versus
coming for you.
Suffolk. Nassau versus Suffolk.
Yeah, we're coming.
Oh, my dog. All right, wait. Let me let my dog in. Nassau versus Suffolk, boy. I'm excited.
This is so good.
Oh, I'll get riled up just because of me.
We're going. Y'all are going county versus county.
Oh
5-1-6 versus 6-3-1.
yeah, exactly. 6-3-1.
5-1-6 versus 6-3-1 over here. I went to high school in Suffolk County though. I went to one of them like football schools. I loved it. It was awesome. We won the
But yeah,
championship
Tom,
14
you're
years
in
ago.
Nassau.
Yeah, I'm in Nassau County. Hey, North
Never
Shore.
been there. I've been to Suffolk though.
Oh, it's shit.
Suffolk's
It's a
where it's
piece of
at.
shit. It's horrible. Nassau is where it's at.
I will say this. I think Nassau has prettier girls, but that's about it.
And beaches.
You know,
I'm in Atlantic
I could.
Beach and Bayville, dude. Shout out the beaches in Bayville. Shout out the beaches in Atlantic Beach. That's where I go. That's where I'm at.
I mean, you've been to Montauk Point, I would hope, right?
Yeah, once when I was younger.
Beautiful. You need to go back out there.
Nah, I'm
Rent
good.
yourself a house out there.
I'm good. I'm good. Shout out Bayville, the Long Island Sound. We got the Bay I love to kayak in. Shout out the Atlantic Beach and Long Beach beaches. Shout out West Walnut Street, Lindell, Nassau
Shout out
County.
Lake Ontario.
Hey, shout out Lake Ontario. All right. So
Horrible beaches.
we got the Battle of Long Island going on this week. I can't wait to win. All right.
Hey, shout out St. John's Beach. That's a beautiful beach to go to.
Is that near Alpaca in Canada? All right. Did I cut out?
No, I didn't even know what you said. Something about a beach in Canada.
Yeah, by Alpaca in St. John.
Oh no.
No, I've never been to St. John's Beach. Shout out Tobay. See, I don't know Suffolk County like that. I know Melville because that's a nice part of Suffolk County. But all right, let's move on.
Melville.
Melville, yeah, right next to Huntington.
Okay. Right by Huntington. Huntington Station, probably one of the worst places you could ever be.
Oh yeah, you don't want to be there.
Yeah. It's right. I lived in Wyandanch, so shout out to Wyandanch.
Oh yeah, no. Shout out Wyandanch. It's not anywhere. Yeah.
We're gonna get canceled. If someone from New York hears this, we're gonna get canceled.
No, I'm repping my places hard. You're the one talking trash.
Bing bong.
I'm talking trash about Suffolk too. But yeah, Nassau 516. We're gonna win it all. All right. So next match we got KJ versus Yama. I'm going with Yama in this one. And Jax, who you got?
I'm gonna go. Man, this is rough. I don't know what Yama's gonna do with the trades that he did.
Oh yeah, I didn't. I'll get updated trades either.
Yeah, he traded his nude for last game. I mean, that to me, that's like you're taking out your starting quarterback because you do not trust him anymore, and you're putting
Who'd he trade?
Yeah, and KJ dropped Neil Lego.
Yeah.
You know what? Yama just convinced me in chat. I'm going with Yama.
Yeah, Yama dropped me in chat, I think, right? That was one of his mons. And I love myself some me in chat. The disrespect. But I know KD picked it up, so that's why I'm going with KD. Because he did pick up me in chat.
And who you got in this one? Drop Mindshow and drag Reggie Drago.
Yeah, and Reggie Drago was putting in so much work for him, too.
For Gyarados.
Reggie Drago was a heavy hitter for Yama.
For Gyarados and some other thing Reggie Steele.
Yeah, no, he picked up Reggie. Okay, so that makes sense. Yeah, he picked up Reggie Steele and he picked up Gyarados. I mean, don't get me wrong, Gyarados is a good mon. I'm honestly surprised that Reggie Steele was sitting in free agency.
I'm not. That shit sucks.
Just because how annoying it was last season, and that was with Dynamax.
It's good. It's good.
Now you don't have Dynamax, so I mean, you can kind of make it very bulky, and
yes,
it's probably hard to take down.
No, you can make it very hard to take down very easily in this format.
Yeah, so but the one thing I'm skeptical of is Snom's had it, and it hasn't made like much of any noise at all season.
All right, so let's see how Yama uses it differently than Snom. But Matt, who you got in this one?
So, so that Yama versus Pangy game kind of sticks out in my mind. This last stretch, I mean, Yama versus Pangy, then Yama plays Angelo, and now Yama plays KJ. I mean, that's a murderous row of last 3 games.
Hell of a schedule.
Exactly.
Yeah,
hell of a schedule.
Last 2 people he played guaranteed in, and the guy that in the playoffs, and the guy that he's playing this week also guaranteed in the playoffs.
And KJ's still undefeated, right?
No.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, Yama is a really good competitor, but I think KJ definitely wants to go undefeated into the playoffs, and I think he does it. I'm going with KJ.
Done and done. All right, I'm going to take a picture, put this in the predictions tabs, and I actually really got to go to the bathroom, so we got to end the stream. And I appreciate each and every one of you came out here. Good luck to all our competitors. Follow at CPDL12 on Twitter. And if you want, I got a match in 12 and a half hours at 8:30 tomorrow morning. So watch out for that. Versus Nino Poke Bros in High Roller, and
Oh, good luck.
that's my last match in High Roller. And then me versus Matt is Friday 8:30 p.m. So have fun, everyone. And I'm gonna end the stream here.